I have the legendary Russell Simmons. How are you doing tonight?
Good, very good.
So it's good to see you. What keeps you going and what brings you out tonight in terms of still pushing the comedy lane and the comedy genre?
I was saying how there hasn't been any new comedians getting a break in Hollywood. Like, it was good that J.B. Smoove got to be on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he crossed over as a result, and he became a big star, or becoming a bigger star. He still needs more crossover vehicles that really showcase him properly. But I'm watching, like, since Martin and Jamie and Cedric and Bernie and Chris Tucker and Dave Chappelle and all those guys, when the agents and the directors were standing by the stage and integrating them into Hollywood, since then they haven't broken any comedians. I mean, imagine that J.B. Smoove I'm referring to was a Def Comedy Jam, or that Kevin Hart. He sold 50,000 tickets in one city, and they were like, we got to fuck with him because he's that big. But that's the only reason. He just stood on the shoulders of everybody black. When you live in a ghetto, you're competing in the same, a lot of the same humor. The mainstream wants to see each one of these individuals shine on their own, and so like a guy like J.B. Smoove, I was thinking he should go to, I just moved to Hollywood, right, so I'm here with this mission. I think he should go to like Sweden and solve a crime and be Inspector Smoove. Or, the guys who wrote Friday wrote a script, and I said, well, damn, they're growing weed? Oh, that's funny, I read the script. Grow in Bel Air. Let's get a chance, because Hollywood is not integrating. Let's integrate for ourselves, and let's create vehicles that allow us to play to the full community instead of 1/10 of the community. The American family is broad, and these comedians, their potential is broad, and they need a break, So All Def Digital, we're looking to do that. I like what happened with Spoken Reasons. He did in Heat, how he blew Heat out the frame. He did a great job.
Good job.
Yep. So I see that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of potential out here, and they need a break, and that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, I'm sure everyone's asked you by now. And speaking of integration, the whole SNL buzz about there not being enough women of color or black women.
No, I don't believe that. Of course, there's plenty of women of color, and there's on the stage some tonight, but all the time, they need a break because people don't understand. As sweet and compassionate and liberal as Hollywood is, they got less integration than Jerry Springer. They got less integration in the coldest part of America, in the South somewhere where you expected no integration. There's much more than there is in Hollywood. They just don't understand it. They don't know how to use it. They don't know what made Fast and Furious so big, and they're not sure they understand why Scandal is so worth talking about. It's about integration. It's about giving a break and an opportunity to people to play like J.B. Smoove. Just put him on there. As great as J.B. is, imagine that you could have put Capone there, who never got a real break. Imagine Earthquake been there. Imagine there's 20 other comedians who in that situation would have shined. So there's a lot of places where things are sterile and white and boring, and they need integration because that's what half of America is, non-white. So there's that, and we want to work on that. We want to try to get people, to get vehicles that give them an opportunity to be mainstream, not to be locked in front of playing in front of 10% of the population.
Okay, before I let you go, I have to ask you, you have a ton on your plate. What keeps you up at night?
It keeps me up at night. I got to get to bed early. I got to get my kids at 6:15 every morning. So I don't worry too much.
Because you have this whole I feel like you yoga, and how do you do that, and how are you incorporating that sort of lifestyle in Hollywood? It's a different vein than it is in New York, right?
It's a little easier even, but you know what? The idea of the yoga practice or meditation is you watch your thoughts. You don't really react to them so much. You're not so emotional. This is the practice. So you smile and breathe in difficult poses, right? So this is what you got to be able to learn to do, and it's a practice. But so long as you have that guidance, as long as you have that intention, and the more you work on it, the more you find it easier to accept what people say they're carrying a lot of stress, and there's not really a lot to be stressful for. It's not, especially in the success stories are struggling just as much as people who claim they're not having success. Life's about having a comfortable seat. That's all there is. If you operate from a comfortable seat, you'll attract the toys and the junk that comes from the world. So I think it's important people at least recognize it's in every scripture, written by every prophet. It's told to us over and over again. We have to try to strive to accept that truth is useful.
Okay, absolute last question, I promise. If you had to pick one song as a soundtrack of your life, I can't one.
You know what? I was on Snoop's show today, and we was talking, and on Snoop's show you get more honest, because the language and all that, you feel at home and all. So we were talking about that. It's like, what's your favorite? The favorite should be the one in front of you and the song you're listening to. Okay. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's what happiness is, to be able to accept what's in front of you. When you listen to a song, and that song, you don't want to turn this channel, or you don't want to press the button. Nowadays, you got choices. We listen to a particular song, and that's the one you like right then that's what happiness is about. That's what, not always needy and needing the next one or needing the old one. I think if you say this is your favorite song and you limit your potential and your future, or your favorite movie, it's the one you're watching, you're interested in, you're engaged in the moment.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure.